You are now tuning in to the Talking with Evie podcast. All right, here we go. This is episode 3 of Talking with Evie. I am the guest co-host, Alastair Hunte, and of course we have the amazing...
I'm Dr. Evie Burns, and I am so glad to be back with you guys. And today we're going to be tackling and asking the question, what do you have planned for the new year? How are you going to navigate the new year? And I know a lot of times we have so many goals. We're saying we want to lose weight, we want to read more, we want to do so many things. So how do you plan to navigate this? What do you plan to do? What's your plan of action? What's your strategy?
Absolutely. I mean, the top goals for the new year are losing weight, stop smoking, saving money, right? Those are the ones that people always do. But it's a little bit more than just saying you're going to do it, because how many years have you been saying you're going to do those same things? And then you get started at the beginning of January, next thing you know, halfway through January, maybe you slacked off, and by February, you're done. So what's going to be different this time, right?
Well, and then talking about saving, sometimes you can start saving and then you start dipping into the till. So in setting these goals, it's always good to have someone that kind of shadows you, or to have someone that you can make the bad guy.
Absolutely.
Someone that keeps you accountable.
That's it.
So if you say that you're going to lose weight, a lot of times we want to go in full throttle.
Absolutely.
So instead of just going and say, well, I'm going to hit the gym 5 days a week, start maybe with 2 days and just do it that way.
Yep.
If you're going to diet, start cutting down, just doing little things like taking out chocolates and taking out sodas one at a time. Or if you're going to be have a membership in a gym, you know, just don't take the whole package. If you could, just
Right.
do some of it one at a time.
That's it.
You know, if you're talking about opening up a business, make sure that you've done all of the legwork, all of the studies and what you should do. And so you just pace your stuff instead of just jumping right into it, because sometimes you burn out and you have not even done it 3 months.
Right.
So I think these are the things that you should try to do. I think also get your planner and kind of plan out, strategize how you're going to do it. Take your time, your timeline. Now we're talking about timelines. You know, work on that.
Yeah, you hit something that you skimmed over, but I think it's really, really important, right? Is the accountability piece of it, right? So if it is that you're going to try and lose weight, get yourself a coach to be able to hold you accountable. If it is that you're going to be able to go to the gym, get yourself a personal trainer to be able to hold you accountable. If you're going to do a business, find a business coach to be able to hold you accountable. And it's not about spending the money for these people to be able to help you, but you're more likely to do it if you have somebody that you have to check in that can help you set deadlines and goals by the next time that you meet with them. Right?
Absolutely, and you know, we're not just. I'm not just talking here about losing weight or business. Just how are you going to navigate the whole year anyway? I think in the beginning of the year, there are good books that you should start trying to read too. The best investment that you can make is to invest in yourself. That's self-care. We talk about mental health. We talk about a whole lot of other things. We talk about budgeting. But investing in yourself, and that investing in yourself is sometimes taking the time for yourself to see where you are in your life. Like I've said on the other podcast, I might have some widows out there. and now you're by yourself. And it's good you have someone, that family members, that can help you. But then there has to come a time when you have to learn how to navigate your own life. So you got to take the time to learn who you are. You got to take the time to, you don't have this spouse now that has been with you all that time. So now you got to give yourself an opportunity to grieve.
Right.
You know, no one can tell you how long to grieve and what they did. You hear all these stories, you know, my sister did this, my brother-in-law did that. No, this is your individual life. And in navigating this year, what does your new normal look like? I told you I hate that word, but it keeps coming up. But what does it look like for you? Learning how to, you know that God is in the forefront of your life. But what does that look like, making your own decisions and being satisfied with that? How are you? We as females, we're always taking care of other people. But how are you? And I don't mean going out doing silly things and buying bags and shoes and all that, but I'm talking about just navigating your life, guarding your heart, making good decisions for yourself. You know what I'm saying to you? So learning how to, like me, I know I need to work on computer skills. But I don't.
I'm laughing because we've had this conversation
Yes, yes, yes. And I'm not saying that I'm going out there, and believe me, I have a tablet and computer here. But I'm not saying that I'm going to go and dive right into it. But then being able to just sit down and say, okay, I'm going to do this.
One skill.
One skill at a time. Sometimes it's not, again, it may not be going to school. It may not be losing weight. But it's just maybe you just want to learn another language.
Right.
Maybe as you want to do research. You might be a history buff. You want to go to museums, you know. I'm not just talking about grandiose things.
Right.
I'm just talking about in general, you know, learning how to navigate your life, learning how to be in charge of you.
Right.
Without, you know, you got your children, you got empty nests, your babies are no longer babies. They have babies now. And sometimes when you want to call them and they're busy, they say, Mom, I'm busy. Your feelings are not hurt.
Right. Because
You're
you
not
got your own
feeling,
things to
yeah,
do.
you're
Right.
not feeling like, oh, they don't want me no more. I'm not significant. You got to learn how to enjoy yourself sometimes. So these are the things I'm talking about. What does your life look like? What do you want it to look like? And we're not taking the whole thing at one time, but just year after year, what is it you want out of your life? What do you want to do? What are the dreams? Go, you know, inside yourself and look at magazines, look at movies. And I remember a long time ago, I saw this movie. I was a little girl, and it was called Three Coins in the Fountain. And that dream stayed in me because I wanted to go to Europe so I could go to this fountain and throw a coin. And I did. I actually did.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's things like that, learning to navigate your life for something, and it's tailored for you, you know.
To spark that idea, you know, one of the things I ask younger people, and I say younger with myself, right?
Yeah.
My age is, I said, if money, time, children, and your job were not an issue, what are three things that you've always wanted to do, right? And so now, whenever you start talking to people that are in your age group, maybe these things aren't an issue, so you can ask yourself that same question, except for the difference is that now you have a little bit more leeway to go and do that stuff, but people kind of forget how to dream.
Yeah, I think sometimes not only forget to dream, sometimes they're afraid
Yeah.
because some people put up limitations. Okay, I know somebody that went on a cruise and they disappeared, or they got sick, or, and all of these things. And, oh, you could get pickpocketed, and all of those things can happen right here.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, even dreaming sometimes is scary, but just learning little bit by little bit, stepping out at those things. I mean, we have so many wonderful avenues that we can do even at our age. Somehow, I don't know, after you reach a certain age, again, some friends, your family, think it's impossible or it looks silly for you to find love again, to want to just give up, and not, I mean, to sell your home and downsize. For some people, they want to downsize. Some people, they might want a bigger home, and they will tell, why are you going to do that at your age? And the government is this and that and the other. And that's not them speaking. That's the fear.
That's the fear.
That's the fear. You want it so bad, and it's just the fear talking. And so why not take a hold of that fear and say, I'm going to do this even though I'm afraid. I'm reminded of the scripture, Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans that I have for you. And it's to not do you harm. So, if you look at what God is saying to you, He has a plan. Every one of us, God has a plan for us. Each one of our plans are different. And so we can't go on the pattern of the plans that your friend may have.
Right.
But for you as an individual, what is it that you really, really, really want? You know what I'm saying? I look sometimes, I'm amazed and I'm intrigued sometimes when I look at the YouTube and these people that do the van life, and they just go off and, they just drive, and they have so many good adventures. And there are more good adventures than there are bad experiences.
Right.
But no matter what kind of experience they have, at least they're doing something.
Yeah.
So what do you think that your year is going to look like? And the only way that it's going to look like something, if you plan for it.
That's it.
Get a plan. And so that's what I want to know. I'm just throwing it out to the audience.
Now, talk about, because you have the plan stuff, but then you have sometimes opportunities that fall in your lap that are, you take advantage of this opportunity now. And it gives you a chance to be able to act on something that you've been thinking about doing for a while. But like you said, that fear holds you back. So talk about how it is that sometimes when you ask for stuff, you got to be careful, because God will open up those doors really quickly, and you better move, right? So talk a little bit about that.
Well, again, I hate to keep bringing this up, but the fear.
Yeah.
You know that you can do it. And you prayed about this,
Right.
Because sometimes when these opportunities come, you have been praying for months. You have been talking this up to your friends. And you tell someone, you say, so-and-so came to me. Only God could have told them this and that. But then you're not acting on it because you got cold feet.
Right.
Again, get rid of the clay and just keep moving. You know what I'm saying to you? So you just gotta forge forth on these things and work on them. That's the only way. It's no big formula. Just do it.
Yeah. I love that you talk about fear, because the way the brain works is that what's comfortable and what you know is safe.
Yes.
And anything new or different is scary.
Yes.
So the fear is just your brain's way of trying to keep you safe.
Yes.
But the minute that you take that first step, the minute that you're in it, then your brain switches and says, all right, so now that we're in it, let's figure this thing out, right?
Yeah.
But you got to get over that threshold
Yeah.
of and realize that it's just your brain trying to keep you safe. It doesn't even mean that it's even real. It just means your brain's trying to keep you safe by doing what it is that you know. But sometimes pushing past that, not even sometimes, the minute that you push past that,
Yes.
there's lots on that other side.
I'll give you an example. I just experienced learning to drive an SUV. You talking about terrified. I was just, first you're sitting up high, and then you're looking at the cars. You say, "Oh God, stay away from my car! Stay away from my car!" And then you got to learn, and the way the new cars, our SUVs are now, I was in a panic mode. But each day, I would dread just getting up. I said, "Oh God, I gotta go and get in this truck." But as I began to follow the instructions and begin to pace and tell myself, "You could do this," it's getting better.
Yeah.
And so as you do these things over and over, you get better and better and better. So that's,
Pretty soon you won't even think about it. You hop in it just like you hop in your car.
just hop right in it and just get to going, And
Because
so,
your brain figures it out.
Yes.
You push past that fear and your brain figures it out, and then it doesn't become a fear. Once you've done it, your brain's like, oh, you know what?
Yeah.
We didn't hit anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is kind of like driving a car, and then that fear goes away because you've overcome it.
And you feel so good about yourself, because I'm in the truck now, I'm celebrating. Yeah, you did it. You did it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. So as it is that we start to wind this thing down, here we are, 2024. It's a new year. We talked about having new goals. We talked about pushing forward, taking that first step, pushing past the fear. Anything else you want to tell people as it is that we begin this brand new year?
I say learn to celebrate. Learn to celebrate. God is not mad with you. He's not out to get you. And as you learn to celebrate, as you learn to embrace, because in this new year, I believe that there's a lot of good things, a lot of positive things that's waiting for us. But we have to learn to embrace those. We have to believe that we're deserving of those things.
Right.
Because a lot of times we sabotage ourselves because somehow we believe that we don't deserve these things that God wants to give us. Again, go back to Jeremiah 29:11. He knows the plans and He has given those plans. Embrace the great things that God has and the new doors that's going to be open. Forget about 2023 and come up to 2024 and embrace the things that God has for you, the doors He's going to open, the positive people. Yes, you're going to make mistakes. And yes, sometimes that fear might come back. But what I say is celebrate, not because of you, but because of what Christ is going to do in your life.
Love it. Focus on your blessings and you'll see more blessings.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Oh, yes.
And you'll see more opportunities that God has and will continue to bless you.
Yes.
Absolutely. With that being said, this ends this episode of Talking with Evie. Thank you for having me on, Dr. Evie.
Always a pleasure. Always. You know what? If I could just con him into doing all of them with me, I will be great.
Listen to her. She's going to try and get it on recording, right? All right. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
Be blessed and come back to see me.